Y'all, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this. I have finally found, after 2.5 years of hunting, I have finally found a black walnut right here in town. They're so hard to find here in East Texas, and honestly, I don't know what the innards are gonna look like. Some people say they're full of bug holes, some people say they're no good. We're gonna find out. But I'll flip the camera around here and I'll show you what all we got going on. I'll show you the tree. So here's our big black beauty, and it is the biggest and the best walnut I've found yet down here. I've seen a couple little scrub ones that people wanted to get rid of, and they wanted to sell them to me for, you know, $1,000, and you just got to walk away from those. But the plan, and in this particular case, this homeowner wants the tree down, one, because she doesn't like raking up the nuts every fall, and two, because they want to put a little shop here. So it's actually a perfect deal for them to get it taken down and get the stump dug out at the same time. So what I've got is, I've got Rosie with me, and on this particular case, I'm eating the cost. It cost me $600 just to move the machine up here. That's just the way it is. But in exchange, I'm getting the entire tree, stump and all, basically free of charge, in exchange for me doing them in service, taking it down, getting the stump out, and I am going to cut them some boards out of it too, just as a return. But we're going to get things set up. My plan is just kind of, you know, dig out a hole on this side, dig all the way around. I'm going to try to get Scoot over there with Rosie, and we'll just push it over. So I didn't think I had space. I brought a bunch of chains and straps and stuff, but I've got room. I can get right over here, and we're just gonna lay it right out here in the backyard. So I'm gonna take it down with the stump on it, and then once I get it down, clean it up a little bit, then we'll take the stump off and we'll figure out how we want to buck our logs out of it. So let me get a couple cameras set up here and get in position, and we'll get her down. get it? I was trying to push it sideways, but I couldn't get right here at the house. No regrets, right?
Too late now. Put it back.
Well, I hit a wire and a pipe, but neither one of them exploded, so yeah. Okie dokie. We got her down all in one piece. That actually worked out really, really well. I wanted it to fall out that way just because it was clear, but because of how the corner of the house was, that I couldn't get right here to push it that direction. So I was trying to push, and you can see where I scarred it. I was trying to pull it over with the bucket, and I just couldn't get it to go. But it fell. It caught a couple limbs in that tree. You can see it left a widowmaker up there actually. But it managed to fall right here beside, and it just touched the barbecue pit. Just a couple little new growths right there, just touched it. So God, I saw it start going. I thought I was gonna get the barbecue pit, but managed to not. So anyway, we're gonna start hacking into it here and just cutting the upper limbs off, kind of getting it down where we can start working in around it, and we'll see just how much good wood we can get out of it. Well, mostly perfect anyway. A little split, but stump stood up mostly like I wanted it to. That was the whole point. I wanted that stump to cut off there and kind of stand itself back up where it was stable versus trying to have I didn't want to have the log try to buckle on that cut. You know, the log fall down, stump fall down, and pinch my saw. Got the tools here, might as well use them. Wow. Let me go grab a tape measure. All right, so we bucked out the first 2 logs. This bottom one's totally clean, 12 and a half feet. So by the time, you know, you trim it, cut it off, you get 12 feet. There is a big, looks like a big burl or a big knot on this side. Be interesting to see what that comes out to be. But this one's clean. This one's got 2 crotches on it, the short one here, and then another one up there. It's actually a double split, and it's got that knot hole, shows a little bit of rot, but it's cutting through the log, I don't see any core rot, so I think it's just that knot itself that's rotted out. But I was just going to show you here before I start cleaning up. Here's our butt log. Short axis is 26 inches clean. 26 inches, yeah, 25 once you get under the bark. About 20 worth of good sapwood, or worth of good heartwood, I'm sorry. And then this great big stump. So we're taking the stump too. We'll get that baby home, cleaned up. People claim there's a bunch of cool looking stuff inside of them. We'll find out eventually. But anyway, I got the 2 main logs cut out of it. There's a bunch of upper stuff that's not huge, but you know, you can still get some 1x4s, 1x6s. You know, this tree, I don't want any of this tree to go to waste if I can help it. It's just down here, to me, they're just too valuable. I know there's places up north, obviously I grew up in Missouri, there's plenty of them, but to me, this one is worth so much more. So anyway, I'm gonna flip the thumb out here on Rosie and start picking up and cleaning up, get these 2 big logs organized, and then I'll start picking through the brush pile and see what else we want to take. All right, got her all cleaned up and sorted out for the most part. Still a bunch of little limbs I need to pick up, but basically if I try to pick those up with the excavator, I'll make a bigger mess. But for the most part, the yard's actually in pretty good shape. It's a little soft, and of course back here where I was having to back up and turn, I tore it up a little bit, but I'll just try to knock it down with the teeth best I can. I think the guy's got a box blade and a disc, so he's not too worried about it. So yeah, a couple smaller logs out of the top. Not really sure what I'll do with them. They got a lot of twist and crook in them and everything else, but you know, we'll just flatten them out to some 1x and see what we can do with them. And a couple little scraps here. These are actually, they're out of the upper limbs, but I went ahead and set it out because I mean that's 8 inches, 8.5 of good clean heartwood on that piece. And of course our 2 big mamas. I was going to seal on this one here. This was the uppermost. I think this was right on top of the second log. So that's got 14 inches, 13 easy on the short axis. And yeah, here's the big ones. This was actually the bottom log. So that's the absolute biggest one there, 20 inches. This was the next one on top of it, 18 inches. And of course that big old stump, which, I don't know, we'll figure out something. Anyway, I'm mostly all cleaned up here. I've got he's got one other tree he said was dead. He called it a black gum. And I think the one he's pointing at, to me, it's not a black gum. It looks almost more like a sweet gum, but it doesn't have, he said it's been dead for a while, so it doesn't have any balls or anything on it to say it's a sweet gum. I think it's this one right here in the middle, this one that's 4-way. But I'm gonna go find him and ask him just to make sure before I start. I told him since I'm here with the excavator, I'd go ahead and push it down for him. It makes sense for me to do it versus him trying to drop it all with a chainsaw. That'd take me 5 minutes, it'd take him 5 hours. So I'm gonna take it down just as kind of a courtesy, at least get it on the ground. And depending on what it is, I might even take a couple of small logs out of it. We'll just see what it looks like. Yep. Just example number 4,000 why I love Rosie. Because I can pick up 2 logs at the same time with this excavator that my tractor could pick up 1 probably. And I can carry them, oh so nice, right over and set them on the trailer. Easy money. Sure we got a good bite on them. String them. Oh, was gonna set some dunnage down, but whatever. I'm just so excited to get these logs home, I don't even worry about it right now. Set them a little forward, centered on the axles. I'm actually gonna try, maybe. I know you don't have the sticks in your way there, but I'm going to put the stump on the front of the trailer. So what I want to try to do here is, we got them both rolling together. I want to put the little logs over on the other side of this. Set that down. Let's get that in then. There we go. And they're only like 28 inches. This trailer's 8 feet wide, so there we go. Should be able to reach over the top with the 3 shorter logs, 3 smaller logs. Set them right on the other side, then we'll get the stump on the front. Well, okay, here's the load. Got the stump up front. Truck squatting just a little bit, not too bad really. Walnut stump up front. All logs on the back over the axles. And then we threw this one on too, just for fun. This is a sweet gum stump. I think I mentioned in the video earlier I was going to take that down for the guy. It was just sitting right here. He said it was dead, so I said, look, man, you know, I'm here with my machine. It'll take me 5 minutes to knock it down. Which I went ahead and bucked it up into logs and stacked it all, cleaned it up. But, you know, I want him to feel like I didn't just leave a mess. I tried to fill the hole in as best I could, but there's always a hole because you took a stump. But the reason I took this, it's sweet gum. It's not going to be any good, but look at this. Whoopsie. Somebody had a sense of humor years ago. Stuck a cinder block up in the middle of this 4-way crotch on this tree. So it was, I mean, you can see where the stump was at. The tree split 4 ways right at the bottom. Somebody threw a cinder block in there years ago and the tree kept growing on around it. So I'm going to see if I can take it home and find some way that we can, you know, flatten it off or something, put like a glass tabletop on. I think that'd be really cool just for a coffee table, just to have that cinder block embedded in the woods. I don't know, maybe somebody else will like it and want to buy it. Anyway, these little upper limbs, you know, I took them just, there's not a whole lot in them, but you know, 4 inches, you get a couple little like knife handle blanks or something like that out of it, you know, and that's assuming you only take the heartwood, of course. If you want to take the sapwood, which some people like that dark light contrast, some people want just pure heartwood, so it's all, you know, that dark purple. So anywho, man, I am excited. I'm so excited. I've told you guys I've been looking for a black walnut down here ever since I've had my mill. 2.5, almost 3 years. Finally got it, and I'm so excited to cut that stump out and see what we find inside. Anyway, let's take her home.